This is Aksa Yasir. Today we are going to cover a few topics related to economic development. Basically, these are basic concepts related to economic development. So let's start. Before going into the details of economic development, we need to know what is the difference between economic development and economic growth. Often this question is asked in exams as a short question. So, what is economic growth? It is real increase in the production of goods and services by an economy over time. Basically, this is just the definition of gross domestic production or GDP, but only the word real is added here. So when there is greater production of goods and services in an economy, that is called economic growth. Now this one was a general meaning or definition. Now using more technical terms, we can say that economic growth is the increase in inflation adjusted market value of all goods and services, or just plainly we can say economic growth means increase in real GDP. Now here the focus word is real. What do we mean by real GDP? Real GDP means when the effects of inflation have been removed from any situation, that becomes real in the sense. Okay, so this is also called GDP at constant prices. When the effects of inflation have been removed, it is called real GDP. And how is economic growth measured? It is measured as a percentage increase in real GDP. Now let's have a look at the situation in Pakistan regarding economic growth. We can see that GDP in Pakistan has expanded 1.91% in 2019 as compared to its previous year, and this graph shows is in the form of bars. This graph particularly shows the GDP percentages in from year 2010 to 2019. This is how it is shown. The source has been mentioned here under the figure. It's from Pakistan Bureau of Statistics. Okay, now let's understand what is economic development. Economic development is a process of improvement in the living standard of the people. Now, living standard of the people is a very vast concept. It includes many things. I've mentioned few over here: safe drinking water, improved sanitation systems, medical facilities, increase in literacy rate, eradication of poverty, and as I said, there are many others. So this first one is just a definition upon which most of the economists agree. It's a rather general meaning of economic development. But when it comes to precise definitions, the opinions of the economists differ. It doesn't matter which one you reproduce in your exams. There are plenty available in the books and over the internet. You can look up for any, but you just don't forget to mention the names of whosoever economist you write. Give reference to of the writer, please. Okay, now the first definition I have given here is of Watson. Now, according to him, economic development is the expansion of production and consumption faster than population growth. Now, this definition is simple and easy enough to understand. That if population growth is slower and a country's production rate is fast, and as well as consumption rate, that is a situation of economic development. Then I have given the definition of Mayer and Baldwin. Now, according to them, economic development is a process where an economy's real national income increases over a long period of time. Now, note here that they have also used the word real national income. So, real again over here means that the effects of inflation have been removed. they are measured at constant prices, and the period is long enough. It should not be over short periods of time. If you have increasing GDP in real sense, or in other words, if your real GDP increases for a long period of time, it is called economic development. Now over here I have compiled few points. These are basically things which are going on when a country is going through the phase of economic development. The first one is obvious. Whenever a country is developing economically, it's earning a lot of income. So we see growth of national income. They're earning more and more money every year. That country earns more money every year. More money means there is more production of goods and service each year. Second one is there is improvement in the material welfare of the people. By this we mean that people get better food, better clothing and housing. Eradication of mass poverty. Now this point means that at least everybody gets the basic or the least necessities of life. Then whenever there is economic development occurring, there is always accumulation of capital. Stock of capital is increased. There are more roads are added to the infrastructure, more buildings are being built, and more machinery is used in the economy. Next one is changes in the structure of production. By this we means that the industrial output rises as compared to agricultural output, and all kinds of production become commercial. Life becomes more dependent on the use of machinery both at homes and in offices. Second last one is changes in social system. Now by changes in social system, let me give you an example of Pakistan. If let's say in Pakistan, business community or industrialists become more powerful than landlords, then we can say that economic development has actually taken place. Okay, when I say they become more powerful, I mean powerful in the sense of earning money, powerful in the sense of having more wealth. So when this is happening, we say social system is changing. Okay, then there are other things that can happen, that can be included in the change in social system. For instance, moral values of people are affected. That's a change in moral values is also a change in social system. Now when moral values change, people may become very progressive and ambitious in outlook. They might also become crazy for material things. Well, that's not a very positive point of economic development. This is one of the negative points, but that's how it is. When economic development is taking place, if people are going crazy for material things, they become more showy and more fashionable in their lifestyle. To put it all these ideas in one sentence, I can say that they become money minded, they become time conscious, and they become very status bound. Now last point is reorganization of the economy. So when there is economic development taking place, economy is reorganized. Now what do we mean by reorganization of economy? It means that number of large scale businesses are increasing. People are making use of banking facilities. More payments are being made through checks. What else can be included? Yes, stock markets are being established. And as far as production is concerned, specialization increases in production. Trade expands a lot. And one more highlight of reorganization of economy can be the movement of people from rural to urban areas. In other words, you can say that urban population goes up, and markets extend nationally as well as internationally, and communication becomes really fast. So all these things take place when there is economic development occurring in any country. And that's about it. With this, we come to this end of this short lesson. Inshallah, in coming lesson, or in coming video, I will tell you about a little bit about trickle down effect and characteristics of developing countries. Thank you.